So, here we are for the return of league racing here on F125. It has been a couple weeks since we've last had a league race on F125, but we are back finally in FWL. We are here for round number 10, I believe, I'm gonna assume. It's the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend, so it should be a pretty fun track. It's not a track that I really go strong at, but hopefully we can just get a good result and kind of make our return to the form of this game. Now, I'm probably going to be pretty slow. I have not touched 25 in about 2, maybe 3 weeks, so it's been a long time, so hoping for something good here. But yeah, we're back for the triumphant return, and I will see you guys at the end of the video, so enjoy this race. And here we go for one-shot qualifying here at China. Like I said, I feel okay. It's not really a track that I really do enjoy. I really do struggle around China, so I'm honestly hoping for a good qualifying, but it's only one shot, and it's only one opportunity here. We'll keep the wings as it is. We are going to keep the wings as it is, and the wings are actually feel pretty good, but here we go for our only run here in qualifying here as we head down into turn 1 and we go, making sure that force feedback is working, and here we go. Down into 1 we go. So far keeping the car pretty, kind of trying to hug the inside line through there, a little bit of understeer approaching through there, still in the third gear. Now you want to focus on this exit here as we do focus on the exit, bring the car to the right side of the racetrack here, flat all the way down, pretty decent size straight for a good overtaking opportunity here during the race, possibly if you feel confident. Down in the third gear, very tricky exit, especially with that curb. That curb can easily throw the car off. As you now approach into a very fast and flat out left-hander as we approach to the right, little tap of the brake, and it just didn't really feel too planted through there. Down in the third, a lot of oversteer now, and I think the tires are getting a little too hot. You can see the back end steps out of the race car through here, and that was honestly not ideal to have that. We've lost quite a bit of time. Now we're down to 7th, I think. Now 4th, so it's not going to be pole position, but it was a personal best in the first sector. But I think this Kick Sauber boy, I think he has it, which is, I think it's Oizich. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, it's been a long time since that last race with these people in FWL as we approach down, burning all the battery, very long straight, probably the longest straight I feel like maybe on the season, unless they did Las Vegas, I'm not 100% sure. And down into the next couple of corners here, very tricky right here, can easily invalidate. We keep the car planted, and we are going to come across the line, and we are P3. So that actually was not too bad. I'll take that, honestly, with any, I'll take that personally, and that is, yeah, I'm fairly happy with that one. And obviously that mistake, I probably would have been pole position, but we just did not really nail that part of the track. But we are half a second off. You kind of hear what I'm talking about, and yeah, the slide there. But Oizich and NXR Gifted had the front row. We weren't far off Gifted, but we are half a second off to our next closest rival, so not really ideal. But you know what, that's honestly the well, that's probably the best it was going to get, I guess you could say. But yeah, honestly, in teammate Corey, qualifying P5, he wasn't too far off either, so that's a pretty decent lap from Corey as we now approach into race day. Or I should say technically on a Friday night, because that's when it took place. So 28 laps. It's going to be a one-stop race. I'm thinking about starting on the mediums first. I want to keep the hard for the end. Yeah, that's a hard thing. There's like, do I want to start the race on hards?
I don't know about that, because
I thought he was going to say something there. I thought I was going to say something there, but I just left everybody on the cliffhanger, I guess, through there. But yeah, I was undetermined, but we're going to make our strategy here. We're going to go medium to the hard, and it's going to be a one-stop race, and that is what we're going to target. So I think the one-stop is possible. Tire deck is pretty high here, so I think towards around lap 3 or 4, it's going to get pretty brutal. And there's no rain in the forecast, none of that, so, you know, overall, I feel like it will still be, I feel like if we get a good launch, I think we'll be just fine. But yeah, there it is. And well, we're going to take advantage of these hard runners here at the start, and we're going to try to nail this the best as we can. But honestly, just focus on a good start, and we will see what happens. But here we go for the 5 lights here for 28 laps around this circuit, and we are officially underway for our return to league racing on F125. Pretty decent start. Jumped ahead to Gifted there. Gifted kind of spun the tires a little bit maybe on the start, and Zeke still with the race lead. He's got some contact behind. I think that was one of the Alpines as we actually hit the back of the Kick Sauber there. Not ideal to hit the back of them, and we actually get a collision warning for that one. So those two now side by side back there. And actually, I think, no, I mispronounced that. I think the Alpine jumped ahead of the McLaren through there. So yeah, now it's just kind of settling in. And we have actually a McLaren that's gone off. I think that might be, I'm not sure who that is. That might be Paxton, or that's someone that's gone off back there, but not ideal for them. And like I said, at this point, now it's just more of the matter of fact of just settling in. And it's been a long time since I've last hopped on in the dirty air. I forgot how brutal it is. It is pretty brutal, but we got a pretty good run here. We're burning battery. Zeke is going to defend the inside line here in the kick out. We're going to try to run the outside. He's going to make a tough affair as we try to stick our nose just a little bit ahead and kind of have to fight the car. He left us just enough room there. It was going to be pretty tough racing no matter what, but overall the Kick Sauber will stay ahead of us, and we go very wide. We get caught on the curb there, kind of got beached just a little bit, and Zeech now takes well, he leads lap 1, and he's got pretty good pace. He is very quick, and this is probably going to be the guy to beat. And like I said, he was at half a second up on qualifying, and our qualifying time was a little bit slower than all the other ones. Obviously it's one-shot qualifying, but honestly a 118, honestly I think it was 118, 134, it was somewhere around the 130s, I think. I don't know why I said 118, but yeah, like I said, it's pretty, those gaps were pretty hard, but we're keeping them honest on race pace, so that is also a positive. But good opportunity here for an overtake, very long straight. The problem is, when there's no slipstream, it kind of does get pretty tough. So we're using battery, and we're using all the deployment that we got. Zeech, I think he's not going to defend, he's just going to let us have the inside line through here, and I don't think he's going to fight this maybe too hard. He actually locks up, and he goes in deep, and actually I think he might have bean-boozled himself, I guess you could say, through there, but he's still got the inside line through there. Does Zeech's, actually we hit the side of Zeech there, and he kind of threw the car in there, and I make contact. And now lap 3, I mean, we are going at it neck to neck between us, but we finally jump ahead of Zeech through there finally. And yeah, like I said, it was getting pretty dicey, and I wasn't trying to make any contact with him, but I accidentally just sort of made a slight mistake through there, and did not mean to do that whatsoever. But lap 3 now, Zeech, he's pretty far back, but like I said, the mediums are going to start dying off here pretty quickly, and I do expect that. Actually, he's gone deep. He's gone very deep, and he's actually going to let Gifted and the Alpine get around. So Zeech, I don't know if he missed his brake marker or what, but yeah, he's completely shot himself in the foot after that one. And now the McLaren of Gifted will have a fantastic opportunity down this next straight here. He's probably got a lot more battery compared to us right now. We've kind of burned quite a little bit of battery, and it's not much I really wanted to burn, but down the straight we go. He doesn't really get too close. I thought he was going to close that gap, but it wasn't too much. He only closed by maybe 0.3 through there and through the braking zone. But he is still keeping us honest as well. Zeech did get back around the Alpine there, and like I said, the mediums are going to start dying off here pretty quickly. And the mediums, they're not really feeling that great. In my race pace, it doesn't really feel that strong either. I'm struggling quite a little bit just to kind of hit apexes here with this car. So it's not been smooth sailing so far, I guess you could say, but Gifted, he is still roughly all behind us, and Zeech, who will get Zeech, I don't know how you really pronounce it, but yeah, like I said, I mean, Gifted, he's got very strong pace on those hard tires compared to us on the mediums, and he's going to have a fantastic run through here, and he will jump ahead of us. Does the McLaren driver go? And we will just kind of try to tuck it behind, and Zeech now, who honestly got that gap closed down quite a little bit, and he's going to be a threat to us as well here on lap 5. Now hopefully we can try to stay with Gifted the best as we can before the tires start dying off here quite a bit, And yeah, the fronts are kind of dead. It's just, the car just doesn't turn at all with the fronts, and you kind of see it through here. We're kind of in the dirty air just a little bit, and cannot really get the car rotated whatsoever. Here comes Zeech down the inside, and trying to leave the space through here, and we've made contact. Oh, as I've completely just go. That's my bad. I completely just understeered into him, so I let him have it. Probably for the best. He's got good pace. Oh, he just drifts through the corner, and I think he's just completely locked up through there. But we'll let Zeech get back around us, and we are just going to follow through and see what happens. And when all that happened, we actually lost the train. I mean, we lost the DRS, and Gifted is under severe pressure from Zeech, I think. Or no, actually, well, he's got DRS, but I think he's kind of keeping him within, I think, Zeech's pace. I think it's just kind of following through with the DRS. But yeah, we've lost out, and I think that it's going to be close to starting to pit here pretty soon, because I cannot really hang on to this car much longer, and you can just see the pace drop off. It's 2 seconds, and with a voice crack in there, not ideal. But the Williams as well, he is coming, 1.4. So I think it might be time to pit. And it's going to be a very early pit, but at this rate, I think if we do pit, we'll have an opportunity to kind of at least undercut someone, and we'll focus on the undercut. And like I said, you kind of heard me just a little bit that the tires, they're basically dead, and it's just not a great feeling as well in this race car. And like I said, I am struggling quite a bit so far. We got a back marker in the way. That is someone in the accident. You can just see the car just steps out through there, and that dirty air, that is the worst place to get caught out through there. And the car, again, it just steps out quite a bit through some corners that just don't make sense whatsoever. And it's been a long time since I've last played. I've been more on iRacing the past couple of weeks, but here comes the Williams. He's 4/10 behind, and he's gonna, I think he's got a good run to make a pass here. And you can see he's only 4/10 back, so he's definitely gonna have an opportunity through here. And here he comes, coming in like a bullet. And yeah, it's time to pit now. I mean, we tried staying out maybe one more lap, but it's just not worth it. We're just losing time, we're losing pace. It's probably best just to kind of just let these guys have it, and we are going to pit. As we head into the pits we go. Do not clip the inside barrier. We do that quite a bit, and we do not do it. So thank God we did not do that for a while. But here we go, into the box we go for the Ferrari team. So far it's been pretty uneventful. At the start we've lost quite a bit of pace, but onto the hard tire. Let's see how good the hard is. Now we've gone for the harder set, so if there is another safety car, the hard tire might be the way to go. And I've actually might be a little bit happy that I did that. And you can see a couple other guys as well, they're coming in as well, so maybe they're keeping an eye on when we were going to pit. And I think that's what they were honestly doing, is I think they were just kind of seeing how I was going to pit. One guy's on the hards, I think another guy's going mediums as well, so quite a few people as well. And up ahead is the owner of the league, Jim. Let's just call him Jim, or you can say FWL Jim. And we got Focina. It's a familiar name if you guys remember the LDR moments. But lap 10 now, and like I said, the hards, they do feel a little bit better. They do feel really good. I just am struggling for pace. It is pretty clear that I am struggling. This is our first track limits warning of the night. So far, 2 more, and we get a 3-second pen. And you all know me, I love me some track limits, and I think there's a good chance we get that. Now, just trying to bring the car in, and I'm not really pushing. You can see I'm not really using battery at all. I've just kind of saved battery, but Jim is going to probably let us through here, and I think that is what he's doing. And yes, he does. So he knows that. I think he's also the team principal for Ferrari. So I think he's not trying to hold up his draft pick or his man that he selected. So thanks, Jim, for letting us by. And well, now we just kind of wait. Now one of the other McLarens is in. That was Gifted. Gifted came in. He's come up 2 seconds ahead of the road on the medium tire. So he's going to have probably much more of a pace advantage. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do it in the mediums. But yeah, for me personally, I just don't have much pace. Really just struggling, honestly. And even in the hard tire, they do feel a little bit better, but you can see that it's not blistering. I mean, there's no personal best. There's a personal best in the middle sector, but it's nothing crazy. So we are kind of maybe in trouble of possibly not really succeeding in the undercut, but it depends on how this Cupcake Sauber is doing. And we're going to jump out of the Alpine here. And the Williams, I think, is still P2. Now, he did start on the hard tire, lap 13. Now, that's actually an Aston. That's the same Aston we've actually lapped. And he's going off track, and actually that messed me up because I completely oversteered and overshot the corner. So, yeah, that was that honestly was not ideal. That did not help whatsoever. And you can see the gap. It's 3.9, so he's definitely gifted. He's got a lot of pace in that car compared to us. We're just struggling. I think it's just clear that we're just struggling for pace at the moment, and we just can't really lean too much on the race car. We're kind of short shifting just a little bit just to get traction, and honestly the traction part, that's kind of what is kind of throwing me off. But we're going to jump ahead of actually Zeech. Now Zeech's pace clearly was not that great because we actually were jumping ahead of him. Now Gifted, his pace was strong. He's got a 4-second gap now, so he's got a pretty decent lead. He technically is the net race leader if you think about it. Now the car in front, who is the Williams, he has to make one more stop, and Focina, who I think might be in AI mode. He might not be in AI mode. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I think he's had connection issues the past couple of leagues that we've been in. Actually, VSC deployed. So someone has actually gone off. I'm not sure who that is. I can't really tell who it was. Maybe it was, I think this might have been the Aston that went off, but it's only a VSC, so not a full safety car. Full safety car would have pit for another set of hard tires to go to the end of the race on that set compared to what we have on now. But VSC now ending here, and we are back underway. And actually Gifted, well, he had a 7-second gap through there, so I don't know if I don't know, I probably was not paying attention to the gap. I don't know if I got caught napping under the VSC, if the delta was just way too great, and you can just see the car steps out. And that's the thing that really just kind of throws me off, is that sometimes I just don't know what the car is doing, and it's right there, it just randomly steps out. I'm not sure if the tires are getting hot, if there's just no grip there. Honestly, I'm not sure. And you can just see the gate and the struggle. The struggle is real. It's now 8 seconds, and yeah, I have absolutely zero pace in this car at the moment. And well, Zeech, he's gonna have an opportunity here. Curious to see how he's gonna manage his tires, because I think he's been pushing quite a bit, and we ain't gonna defend this. We are just gonna let him have it. And now I'm doing this because I think Gifted might try to go to the end of the race on that tire.
Come on, you can
now he might. Back. I'm not sure if he's gonna, but if he does, I want to see if Zeech can just catch up to him, and we can use his pace to kind of jump ahead. And you can see we've been in the DRS, so we have. I mean, we're matching Zeech's sort of race pace, but you can see it kind of pulls a second through there, so we have to kind of burn maybe a little bit of battery. But I mean, he's very rapid. He's very rapid compared to us. And Gifted now, who the gap is kind of 7.3, so it's kind of just hit or miss. You know, one lap it's there, one lap it's off. So, but it's definitely there. It's telling us to pit now for a set of soft tires. We're not going to do that. We're going to go to the end of the race on this compound. And honestly, this management game is kind of just the whole goal. And you can just see that the front left tire, it is kind of blistering quite a bit. You can just see the wear on that tire, and Gifted's in. So Gifted did come in, as I kind of predicted. I didn't know if he was going to go to the end, but Zeech, I think, will try. And I mean, I don't see why not. He's going to do it. Now, a one-stop is possible here, but it's all about managing the hard, and we pitted maybe a little bit early compared to our time, so it was not really the greatest, I guess you could say. But we got back in the DRS of Zeech. Now Zeech might have maybe burned all his tires, but now our tires are kind of coming alive here. Now the pace, it's slowly kind of catching up. We're kind of finding a little bit more confidence around the racetrack, and we're kind of able to maybe get sort of a little bit more comfortable on this tire. And we have a fantastic opportunity to possibly fight for the race win here with Zeech, and this would be honestly pretty good if we could try to keep him honest and possibly try to make him into a mistake. Now, like I said, he did make a mistake lap 3 when he actually overshot the corner, so if we wonder if we maybe keep just a little bit of pressure on him, he might make a mistake, and that is not what we want to do. Run out just a little bit wide, and he's saving quite a bit of battery. And actually, with all that battery he saved, he was able to pull off. Now sector 2 and honestly sector 2, anywhere through that middle sector, he is flying compared to me. I am struggling through there in the dirty air, and you can see we kind of went in just a little bit deep. Wasn't too bad. Slight lock up of the rear tires there at the end, of that straight. But keeping them honest, 4/10 now is the gap. 3 seconds behind us for the Williams, who also is becoming a threat on that medium tire as well. So that guy's got some pretty good pace compared to us right now at the moment. But it's still early now. Obviously, that Williams, he did pit a little bit later, I think, than all the other guys. So maybe that's why his pace is good. But you can just see the car, it just steps out through there, and again, just could not get on the traction. And actually, the tire wear, it's gone pretty aggressively. Now the tire light hasn't come on yet, but it's yeah, it's not great. It is not great at all. And the tires, they're kind of getting pretty hot, and they're starting to overheat. But we're gonna have to try to claw back, and we do claw back into the 8/10. So we're just kind of just there. We're just there, but we just can't really seem to get close, because then when we get close, the car just steps out. So it's always it's hit or miss. It really is hit or miss so far at the moment of this of everything so far. But 1 second now, still the gap, and the car just steps out through there again, and trying to be careful and trying to maybe might have to implement some more short shifting just to kind of maybe keep the traction under control. But it's just, I don't know if it's really going to work, honestly. But I might have to start short shifting just a little bit. We're short shifting through here just to get on the traction. And there is another corner cut. That was a pretty bad cut. So that is honestly deserves a track limits warning there. And we were doing a pretty good job, considering it's our first time back with track limits, and we were doing pretty decent, but kind of all fell apart. And now Zeech, now he's pulled away, and the tires, you can see the tire light is now on by the side of my face cam, and yeah, it's just gone to hell. It really has. And actually, there's a spin behind. It's actually the Williams that's gone for a spin, so I don't know if he's completely messed that up, and you can see the car just steps out again. So yeah, tires are just, at this point, tires are dead. They are dead, and there's just no point of recovering. There's no point in recovering at this point. There really isn't. You can just see that there was the little bit of the wear you saw there, 60%, I think, on the rear and the left side of the car. So, and obviously the left side gets pretty aggressive there through some of the high-speed corners. So you kind of do expect that, but you know what? It is what it is, and there is another warning. You just kind of hear the lips smack out of also just more like, what am I doing? And honestly, I did not know what I was doing. Honestly, at that point, I cannot tell you what I was doing. But final lap here of China, and one more lap until the end of this race. And so far, it was actually pretty decent. So honestly, a P2. If it happens, and it is going to happen, I will take that. Gifted Soft started off at the end. Zeech is going to win by 3 seconds. Congrats to him. He did a fantastic job. We're going to come home back at our return, and we're going to snag a P2. So I will take that. Not bad. Not bad. Ferrari second. Not sure really where the other Ferrari is. We'll kind of see where they are at the end of the race. And actually, Corey is P7. So that's not too bad. But yeah, just in time to watch the sprint race at China during this time when this happened. But yeah, there's your podium. P2 for us, so that's honestly not bad. I will take a P2 any day of the week. Obviously wanted that P1, but the car just did not really, it didn't really handle too well at the end, and my race pace was honestly not that good. It really was not that good at all, clearly, and you could just kind of see the difference of pace that we've had. So just not the best feeling in the world, but kind of seeing me now just kind of waiting and just kind of confused, because I was just kind of trying to see maybe if I had a shot. I mean, we had a shot, but it was just more the fact of could we more so take advantage of it, and we did not do that, unfortunately. And oh, it happens, I guess you could say. And there is your whatever you call that. And there you go. So P2 with a 3 second pen.
Yeah.
So
like no pace at all.
Yeah, no pace at all towards the end of the race, and it really just messed us up clearly. But yeah, that is going to do it for that. And we'll take one last look at the results, and you can see Corey coming home P7, and we come home P2. Gift to P3, Fosina P4. I think Fosina was P4. Wow, that was damn. He came in flying like a bull. But yeah, there you have it. And we'll take a look at the standings here. We've only did one race, so we're probably going to be pretty low in the standings, but we will have a look to see where we stand here. But there's your results. When it comes to the standings, we are actually P11. So actually we jumped ahead of our teammates. So Ferrari 11th and 12th through there in the constructors. McLaren with a pretty decent lead. Or not the constructors, the drivers, but McLaren gifted with a pretty strong gap. So yeah, a little bit of catching up to do, but we'll see where we can get towards season end, I guess you could say.
So there you have it, P2 back on debut in FWL. Pretty good result. I will take that as we approach next week, which is Singapore. Hoping for hopefully a P1, that'd be pretty awesome, but like I said, just really happy to be back on the game, and really did enjoy my time out there. But thank you everybody for watching this video. I appreciate all the support you guys have given this channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Catch you later.